Hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is Simeon. I just would like to welcome you in this conversation. It's a great conversation, as you all know. Just I might say that welcome for dinner. Yeah. I would just wish you to start by introducing yourself, such that maybe people who don't know you would get to know you better.
Yes, my name is Colombe.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Bertin Colombe,
Yes.
and I worked on Hindu weddings and tailgate
Tailgate.
parties.
Parties. Oh, that's great. Where did you work on?
I worked on Hawaii poi and Japanese rice.
Yeah, what did you work on?
I worked on Pennsylvanian Dutch cuisine and Tlingit pork lattes. Yes, I think that it's a great combination with guys from Hindu and Japanese wise. I think I've also gone somewhere in Dutch, Holland people. Yes. I'll just start by introducing to you something of my menus, and I would like to start from which one do you want? Like
Dutch cuisine.
Dutch cuisine, interesting. So Dutch cuisine, this was a cuisine comprises of different meals. Yes, as you all know that a cuisine cannot hold only one type of meal unless if a special kind of food that is preparing. So in Dutch cuisine, we had foods like the gambis, the toasted pasta, and so many other foods that were prepared in the Dutch cuisine. And in this cuisine, I was very much interested to talk about the gambas. This is one of the old meal that was prepared by these people. It was prepared by getting the cabbages. First of all, they could first get what we call the this how do you call amaftaina? You all know in Kinyarwanda.
The oil
Yes.
of cow.
No.
From cows.
Very
I don't know
interesting.
how to.
So they could just get this first put in a saucepan, this oil, as it is melting or getting cold. Now they just put in these cabbages. Yes, cabbages.
Yeah.
After chopping them, they put them in the saucepan. After putting them in the saucepan, you prepare on your side a kind of small pieces of meat. Yes, that you're going to mix in that in your saucepan of cabbages. And then after you have also chopped onions ready to be mixed in. You also put in, and there were so many other ingredients that they had to put in to make it have great flavor and to make it sweet, of course. So this type of recipe it was an old light food meal because it was a sauce that was liked by very many people. So the Gambis, most especially, people were enjoying it either from abroad entering into the Dutch area, and of course, the Dutch people like this meal because it was one of the old meal that they all used to enjoy as a whole kind of population. Yes. Briefly, I think that's all with the Gambis. Mainly, they could just eat it accompanied with other foodstuffs like the couscous. I don't know whether you know about the couscous type. It looks like rice, and the funeral cakes. I don't know whether you make any of you know.
Funeral cakes?
Yes, they're kind of
I know.
yeah, you know wedding cakes, of course, because kind of
Yeah.
Hindu weddings, of course. Yeah, so that's mainly more about the Dutch cuisine. Like, I don't know if any one of you have a problem of the cuisine.
A pro?
Yeah, any question about my?
Yeah. So, can you maybe go into a little detail about the ingredients of gambis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to know more the ingredients. So, if I want to prepare the gambis, what ingredients will I need?
Mm-hmm. So mainly when you want to prepare these gambis, as I had told you, you just have your cabbages on your side. You have meat. You have onions. As I had told you, there were some other people who could wish to prepare this gambis food and including some other ingredients to just make it have more flavor. But most especially, you don't have to mix those, the cabbages, the meat, and the onions, and also this type of oil. I've told you, you have to put in oil because it has to be like uh, oil fast in a saucepan, and then after you put in the cabbages, then after you put in the meat, I told you you have to make the pieces very small. You don't have to make them big because it's type of a sauce. And most likely, after you have mixed all this, they will later on produce your gambis. I mean, it's just a simple. It was just a simple type of food and meal prepared in the Dutch cuisine, but was liked by very many people. It's very easy to prepare it.
Yeah. So another very quick question.
Yes.
Is there any other kind of food which is prepared in the Dutch
And the Dutch cuisine, yeah,
Gambis?
it's not one. There is what they call. They could also prepare something like bits of toasted pasta.
Or
Yes, they could also chop them and prepare them, and it was type of meals that were very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the question I had
Yes.
is that I want to know the rituals behind that kind of food.
Actually, the main ritual that was in serving this kind of Gandhis food, it just comes in the way all the materials used to serve these Gandhis. You all know that as time went on, there have been a development in production of different materials used to serve food. But in the earlier time, they used to use these type of plates. I don't know if I'm going to call them plates, but they were made of clay. So they were like pots type of, I don't know whether you know them. So they could just pour them on a pot and just bring them, serve them on that. So they did not use these kind of plates, as you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's all with the Pennsylvanian Dutch cuisine. Unless if there's no any more question, I think it can give someone else to anyone just need to start to share with us another type of food.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes.
I guess that's me.
Mm.
So as I was telling you guys, I worked on two kinds of, they're like rituals, maybe events, which are the Hindu weddings
Yes.
and the tailgating
Tailgating
parties in the United States.
Or I think you
So-
worked on parties only.
Wait,
Oh,
weddings
yeah.
parties.
Oh,
Weddings
yeah.
are parties. Then I worked on parties on.
Sure, I see.
So yeah, I'm gonna start by Hindu weddings.
Hindu
because
weddings.
I think they are really awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you understand by Hindus first? When I say Hindu, what do you
Oh.
understand? Hindu.
People from India.
Nice guess.
Hindu.
Yeah.
I get it's a culture of Indian
Culture. I think you are all very close.
Yes.
So Hindu is not definitely like Indians. So
Mhm.
Hindu is not equal to Indians.
Yeah.
Because if so, I could say Indian weddings,
Mhm.
but they are not Indian
Mhm.
weddings.
Yes.
So Hindu is more like an ethnic group,
Mhm.
a large ethnic group which is really predominant in India and neighboring countries. So it is not only India; it's also in Nepal,
Oh yeah.
in Pakistan, in Bangladesh,
Yes.
some other neighboring countries like around India.
Sure.
So, but also it is a predominant group in India.
Mm.
So Hindu, they have their special culture.
Yes.
Hindu, they have their special ritual, their special fashion. You always see the way the Hindu dress, more like the traditional one.
I think
you
it's
know?
like
Yeah,
culture here.
yeah. So
Yes.
Hindu weddings are an important part of the Indian culture
Mhm.
because the Hindus consider their wedding to be like they consider marriage as a sacred ritual which unite man and husband and wife forever. So for that reason, Hindu weddings, that's why they are very important. And me, as I was doing this anthropological research into Hindu wedding, I focused on they are really complex. Hindu weddings are really complex,
Yes.
so I had to focus on food in Hindu weddings. So in Hindu weddings, food occupy like an important place because they have different symbols. They have different meanings that are associated with them. Not only because they are food, but also because they like they have something they mean, so that the Hindu to make the wedding significant, meaningful. So for that reason, there is the first food which is really important is rice. So rice, yeah, rice, like the usual rice. But I don't know, the Hindu rice is brownish, yellow kind. So, but in Rwanda we usually eat the white rice.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's all rice, I guess. So the rice in weddings is a sign of sustenance and prosperity. So you know what I mean. So because you see rice seeds, there are very many, so it means prosperity, many kids, much money, everything. So for that reason, the rice is thrown over the bride during the wedding as a sign of like your marriage, may it last longer, and may you have many kids, may you have everything, happiness. So rice is thrown over the head of the bride.
Just as they're celebrating.
Yeah, as by the priest.
Yes.
And then there is also the coconuts. So yeah, coconuts they are like to ensure that the marriage is blessed. The marriage. So you see that they get sacred. Everything in Indian has a sacred meaning to ensure that the marriage is blessed. So the coconut is so they give it to the bride in her hands. So guided by her father. So her father held her or holds her, and then she goes and places the coconut in the bridegroom's hands.
Oh yes.
As a sign of our marriage is now blessed. That's the coconut.
Okay.
And then there are the cumin seeds and sugar and brown sugar, a mixture of cumin seeds and brown sugar, to ensure which symbolize the bitterness and sweetness of life. You see what I mean? So what is just I told you that cumin seeds and a mixture of cumin seeds and brown sugar symbolizes the bitterness and sweetness of life. So you see this kind of, it's like an oxymoron. It's like the two terms which are really opposite at the same time. So what do you think among those two represents the bitterness of life? Cumin seeds and brown sugar. What do you think represents the bitterness?
Cumin.
Bitterness. Obviously, I mean, it's obvious, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what do you think now? Of course, the sugar. Sugar, come on. Sugar is sweet, right?
Of course.
I mean, sugar is the second thing I've ever tasted which is really sweet after honey. Yeah, honey is really sweet.
Oh.
So this mixture of cumin seeds and brown sugar is like to remind the brides that they will live together no matter what.
Okay.
So whether the life is bitter, whether the life is sweet, they will always be together. Isn't that cool?
That's
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, that's what I liked about this. So, because of these different foods, and you could ask yourself, I mean, when I talk about food, you thought maybe it's food, maybe to consume them. Yes, also after the weddings, obviously there are parties, they drink, they eat, but mostly they use this food in the wedding itself. They spray the rice to the bride. The bride like carries a seed of coconut to the bridegroom, so that to represent to ensure that the marriage is really blessed, right? And the brown sugar and the cumin seeds, they are placed in a leaf called betel leaf, and then the bridegroom and the bride place that leaf on each other's head.
Oh yeah.
Like this, everybody.
Okay.
So to mean we will be together no matter what. Colombe is like England.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I've worked about. That's my what my research has tried to give me. So I guess if you guys have questions, you can ask. You have any questions from what I say?
That's interesting question.
Yeah.
You know, you've just talked about this
Mhm.
rice.
Mhm.
You know, I was wondering, it is a party, it is in a wedding. People, instead of eating, they are throwing. I mean,
Yeah, I say also rice is eaten.
oh yeah.
I mean, they eat rice.
Mhm.
But in the wedding, rice has a symbolic meaning.
Oh yeah.
So the spray of rice represents
Mm.
sustenance
Okay.
and prosperity.
So that means
It's like a
oh,
symbol,
mm.
you know.
So during the wedding, they could
Yeah,
they don't prepare that rice. Instead, they have it
Yeah.
to make
yeah,
their
yeah,
practice
yeah,
ritual practice.
yeah.
Okay, I get
Does everyone eat on that sugar or it's only for the bride?
it. Oh.
I say that you know the sugar they don't eat it.
Mm.
They place it in a leaf and then
Mhm.
they crush the cumin seed and the sugar together and then they are together, they are mixed.
Yes.
And then they place the mixture in a betel leaf.
Mhm.
And then the bridegroom has one leaf, the bride has one leaf, and then they place the leaf on each other's head.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they don't eat. I mean, yeah, they don't eat. But afterwards, of course, they can eat. Yeah.
Yeah,
So thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
I guess you enjoyed my hearing about the Hindu wedding.
Hindu wedding.
So I guess I'll pass the floor to Miss Colombe to
Yeah.
talk about research.
Thank you so much. I worked on Hawaii Poi, and I really wanted to share with you what I learned. I guess no one knows about. Do you know about Hawaii Poi? Have you ever heard anything about
I think that is a language.
it? No, it's not a language. Do you know anything about it, Bertin?
Hawaii poi.
Yes.
I know Hawaii.
Yeah.
Poi, I really don't.
What is Hawaii?
Hawaii is islands,
An island.
American islands in the Pacific.
So maybe
So-
she's going to talk about an island.
Yes.
She's talking, yeah.
I want to talk about the island and the food that they
Oh
consider.
yes.
They have some rituals about
Sure.
it. So, Hawaii poi is like it's like it's not like a food.
Mm.
It's somehow creamy, and it's made from a plant called taro. From that plant, they get the roots. They smash the roots and then they mix it with water and they come with the Hawaii the poi.
Oh.
So they respect that poi because when girls are making that poi from the taro root, they have to make sure they fix their hair so that they cannot mix it with the poi, and it's much, they give it much respect. Another thing I want to tell you is that when people are on the table and they are eating that poi, no one has to argue or talk or have some bad mouthing about each other because of the respect they give to the poi. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. So, I would, the poi. I mean, it sounds really interesting, but so I'm really interested in like as Simeon. So all these kind of foods, when you are talking about them, I feel like I want to do it myself. They are really sweet. So if I want to do that, the ingredients, can you please take me through the ingredients again?
Yeah, the ingredients is only two. The taro plant and also water.
Only
Taro
that.
plant, yeah, it's only, I think it's only in Hawaii because it's like, there's some rituals about it because they consider it as the giver of the sun, as the giver of life, yeah, and they respect that plant. So it's only that plant and the water, so they get the roots of that plant, they smash it and mix it with water, and then they come out with poi.
Okay, thank you.
Like I don't know whether you got chance to know how it tastes. Okay, you did not test it, but did you
It's
get?
creamy.
It's creamy.
Yeah, it's
Like,
creamy.
does it taste sweet? Or
Of course, it tastes sweet.
hey, if you want to make it, oh, sweet. No, that's
You better
great.
visit Hawaii.
Hawaii. I thought you were going to do it. But, you know, guys, that kind of interesting, you know, from this very research, from the even from my food, from his food, though he talked of it as a ritual in wedding, and from also research, you see kind of a connection between these three researches, and really from my Dutch cuisine, from his Hindu wedding, from the Hawaii po, you see something that you can meet tells me is that different groups of people where they're living, they have the way in their cultures, they have different things they respect. But mainly you see that it comes on meals. You really wonder how meal comes in a culture, and
Yeah.
it really has something
I
meaningful.
think you're right. But me, I wouldn't jump to a conclusion until I heard everything from you guys. I mean, yeah, I think we have to let us continue. Also talk about other foods we explore.
Yeah,
and
sure,
then
well.
together, we're going to see now if those differences still hold. Yeah, like.
But you know, I think you don't have to worry about it more. I think I can now talk of my second menu,
Yeah.
and guess what it is? Tilling potlatch. Yes, tilling potlatch. So just as you can hear it, the word itself has nothing to do with anything like middle. Tilingiti potlatch and rice. Now with Tilingiti is a group of people. It's a group of people, and
Living where?
and it is in we call it nothing. No, the coasts, other coasts. Yes, of those countries, America. Yes, sides, and
Yeah. Amy, can you cut? Cut, man.
yes, just specifically, it is the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that's where the Tilingiti people are. So now concerning the potlatch, these people developed much in the so-called feastings. They did a lot of feastings, celebrating when they have one of their people is dead, during their happy days, during a lot of feastings were done during their time of the Serengeti people. And mainly, Serengeti just means a group of people, because these people believed that there is no much difference between a human being and an animal, but at the same time could show a kind of difference. So now, I would just jump on the foods that were liked by these people. As you can hear, these people did a lot of feastings. So in their feastings, and as you heard in this Pacific Northwest, these people were at the coast. That means they could get involved very much in fishing. Of course, they get food from the water body. So they were very much involved in foods like the fish, seal meat. Yeah, enjoying fish and seal meat. They really liked that type of foods. So they enjoyed this type of food in different ceremonies, and in their culture, this is how it would go. If someone could have just got too much wealth, you could just make an announcement to a large group of people, welcomes visitors in, and he or she shares with that group of people. And it's very interesting that out of these feastings, people could come and eat at a point that they want to vomit. They could go somewhere and vomit, they even come back and still eat. So it was such an interesting thing, because people could eat and even be given what to take home. So mainly people enjoyed this food, and that was fish, of course, and seal meat. You know, whether you know these type of animals that live alongside the water. Yeah, this way they could get the seal meat. Yeah. So basically, that's all about the Tilingiti potlatch here. I don't know whether you know have a problem or question on this Tilingiti potlatch.
I wanted to know, when will they eat that type of food? Like which events?
Yeah, actually, as I have just said, they celebrated a number, a variety of ceremonies. I told you, when they have their person date, they could celebrate.
And
When
eat that food?
Yeah, sure, they have a type of food they could eat, but take caution because they had some other rituals. And for them, how they believe that if someone is dead, that's all. The person is gone. They continue their life where so they eat and celebrate. They couldn't just stop because someone is dead. And also I've told you someone they could also make these feastings when someone wants to share with others or show off when they want to recognize that someone really has wealth. So that's what they could do. Just call upon people, they come and eat. So this mainly when they could eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really comprehensible. But I want to know if you, is there any information you have, maybe the potlatch we talked about? Is there any other region where they have potlatch, which is not Serengeti?
Which is not Serengeti. I think as in these people were in this part of America, I think they could just all the areas around the coast in the Pacific Northwest, all kind of nations around the coast there, they could kind of share, because in this type of feastings, a person could not only invite neighborings, or I mean families only. He could invite people from the other side of the country. They come in also. They share the feastings, because if you try to make a further research, you will see that people with boats would come in boats. That means they could be coming from afar, so they could share the type of feastings. And you know, this group of people, the Serengeti, is one of the people from the old time, the ancient times. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I can give the floor to Bertin to just tell us more about another type of menu that he has.
Yeah. So the other type of menu the other type, actually it's an event. It's called the tailgating parties. Tailgating parties. So first of all, I would like to give a little bit background about the origin of the tailgating parties. So do you know the American football?
Yes.
American football.
American football.
Sure.
It's all about football.
Yeah. But what's the difference between American football and soccer?
Probably. I don't know much.
Yeah.
about
So
it.
Colombe, do you?
I don't.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's not really popular in Africa, but the American football is a special sport. It hasn't any connection with the soccer, with the usual football that we play here. So it's more like they use mostly their hands. I don't know why it's called American, why it's called football, but they use their hands, and they wear it's all mostly played by giant guys, because it requires many muscles, wrestling, kind of that. So the American football is a very popular sport in America, one of the most popular, along with basketball and baseball. So they have this thing, it's called NFL. So their association is called NFL, National Football League. And then they have these sports which are called the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is a big event, a game that two teams which were winners from the NFL, they play against each other, and then it's like the final. And then the NFL is a big deal because many people are fans of that, and it's filled with advertisement. People come, so Americans are people who like to have fun, So for that reason, they really enjoy watching the match, but also they thought maybe how can we bring something to make it even funner. So for that reason, that's where tailgating parties came. So tailgating parties are like parties which are done before, during, and after the games, the football games, especially football. And these parties, they are mostly about, it's not dancing, it's not like the usual house parties. They do them aside, they have wagons beside the stadium, so they bring foods, drinks, and then they share. So you understand the concept behind tailgating? Yeah. So the most popular foods and drinks in tailgating are fast foods, because they are fast to prepare. You can understand that they're easy and quick to prepare. And then they can also grill. They can grill meat and like meat, potatoes, and other foods are the sport. So in the wagons, they have wagons where they can cook or grill this kind of food, or they can build stations where many people, most people are cooking. So in the tailgating, it's really friendly. I mean, you don't have to buy because it's like a party. Everybody, you can go at a station, you take some drink, you go, it's really like a party. It's friendly, no selling. So the other popular food in tailgating are the chili and potato salad. Yes, the chili and potato salad, they are popular because they are tasty. They are tasty as salad. Americans like salad,
Okay.
and they are tasty, and they are popular mostly in Paris. So such kind of Paris, of course, they gotta be there. So these dishes, the chili and the potato, they are mostly made ahead of time so that they are ready, and then people can consume them at the spot.
Yep.
Yes, and then there are also soft drinks and alcohol, soft drinks, depend on what you can serve yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Depending. Like, I know you like alcohol. So then, the other foods which are really popular in tailgating are hamburgers, hot dogs, grilled sausage, and baked beans. Baked beans, I like that.
Sure.
So, among others. So there are many foods. So as you can understand, tailgating is it's like a ritual which is associated with the football games, and it's there to increase. It shows something about Americans, which is they really like having fun, and that's one. And then they are the way they are happy. They can be really friendly towards each other because in tailgating you can take what you want. It's good. So thank you very much, guys. So I will take questions if you have any about this. Okay, sure, even.
Yes.
Yeah. You have
No,
questions?
just me, my first question is just simple. I was wondering, and I don't know whether it's related, but just from tailgating, I understand, how were they connecting that kind of playing and the type of foods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll answer that. So there is in the game there are players and then there are supporters.
Yes.
So mostly the tailgating is mostly for supporters. I mean,
Oh.
players, they are busy training.
Oh, yes, I see. Yeah, I see.
Enjoying their victory, mourning for their loss. So yeah, tailgating is mostly for supporters, people who came to enjoy the match. So as I said, it's like they do that to enjoy even more.
Okay.
They have to enjoy the match, but also simultaneously also having fun with food, drinks, and their part. So as I said, tailgating happened before, during, and after the game.
Oh, I see. That's right.
Yes. Any other question? Yeah. Comment.
I know.
So wait, I have a question for you. If you have no question, so as you have heard about tailgating, do you like, as you know the situation in Rwanda, do you know any similar, any kind, even slightly, even remotely similar to tailgating that in Rwanda? So to make the question like more clearer, so people who enjoys food, I know that people in Rwanda enjoy football and sport in general. So do they just go and support their teams and go home, or do they maybe take snacks, maybe, or do they have any other kind of thing which they do before, during, and after the match?
I think I'm cute.
I don't think it would be possible because, they can't take anything for free. And people attend those games when there are very many. How can Rwanda support feeding all those people who have come in the game?
I think just from that, it depends, because I know I've heard that most of these game associations, they also, if there is a certain team, let's say is it a Kiara, it's at some point have a club of people, a group of fans, and I think most of these group people who are in fans, they are given something. That's what I guess.
So I think something which is similar to it's remotely similar to tailgating. It can be, parties after, which we call after match parties. Yeah, mostly, but also these ones are dissimilar to tailgating in the way that it's mostly for winners. So after you won the game,
so that means when you lose.
But some people don't care. Some people just, even when they lose, they go with the winners. They just go and take drinks. I know many people do that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. I will pass the floor to Colombe
Okay.
to describe what the second menu of house.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. My second menu, guess what? It's Japanese rice.
Japanese.
Yeah. I think you all know rice, but for the Japanese, it's exceptional because
Rice.
they give much respect to their rice. For example, when Japanese eat rice every day. For example, in the morning, at lunch, and also in the evening for supper. And Japanese, the reason why they respect their rice is because in the ancient, their soldiers, they could, when they were fighting in the ancient years, they could only eat rice, and so as their means of survival, hence respecting that rice. Also, because of the respect they give to their rice, they also make a lot of foods from their rice, such as sushi, which is rice, but they kind of bake it and fry it. Also, the other foods that are related to their rice. Yeah. That's what I had to tell you about the Japanese rice. And so if you have any other questions, you can, you're free to ask.
Yeah, my question is, what's the Japanese rice? What's so special about the Japanese rice? So, I mean, in Rwanda, we do have rice, in Tanzania, in other countries. What's so special, but what makes the Japanese rice stand out?
As I say, they give it much respect and they make it special because it's like their only survival. It was their only survival in the ancient past. So if their ancestors lived only by eating the rice, it made them continuing to give the respect to that rice.
So it's more of the value they attach to the so
rice.
the way it's prepared, is there any difference with the way we do it in Rwanda?
No, it's the same
the
way,
same,
water
yeah.
and heat and rice. Yeah.
Alright.
So that means if I'm in my home, I can also make Japanese rice.
Yes, you can.
Oh.
No, wait. You cannot call it
You can-
Japanese rice because
Come on.
it's
Except if you
Simeon
go and
rice.
buy it from Japan.
Oh, that means it has to be from the. That means Japanese rice is more different from the other types of rice that are being grown in other countries.
Yes, it's,
Mm.
it's like so white, so white.
So nothing like any ritual associated to Japanese rice, or it's
Yes,
just take it that way.
and respecting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's like embodied in their culture so much that when you think of Japanese,
Think
one
of rice.
one of the things you have to think of is, of course, yakuzas and so on, but also rice.
So it is a symbol, right? We can say it's a symbol, like you was just telling us in the Hindu wedding. I think rice also played a part to be a symbol
Yeah.
in their culture.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's like a symbol of survival.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
So-
that's so great.
I think we all did our feedlots,
Mhm.
and I was wondering what I could give the thought
To me,
to Simon
yes.
and share with us your feedlot.
Yes, I'm just going to start on my field log. I made such a great research, carried out on a great meal. It's one of the meals that most likely by Rwandans, but mostly in remote areas. Of course, when it's being served in our town, Kigali, it comes as one of the traditional special meal. So guess what? This is called, it has a Kinyarwanda term called muhogo. I don't know whether you guys know anything about muhogo. It's your first time, muhogo. Yeah, it's cassava, of course. It's cassava, but the preparation of this meal makes it so special that it most people like it the most. So in my research, I visited a family, and this family is living in a remote area, one of the remote areas around Kigali. It I had just to share with them what I'm carrying out research on. They said, okay, we know something about this type of meal, and they had to share with me how it is cooked, how it is prepared, and how it is served, and what are the rituals associated with this meal. So, mohogo mainly, I might say, oh, I'm sorry to use this word mohogo, and now you can cope up with it, it's cassava. So this type of meal is prepared in different ways. Firstly, there's when they prepare it alone. And what do? They just remove the other cover or the other part layer that is covering the cassava. Then after, they have to cut it into pieces, long pieces. And then after, they prepare a saucepan, they fill in some water, they wash. And you know the reason as to why they wash this cassava is because when someone is just trying to peel, kind of removing the other outer layer, it just kind of gets that. So that's why they have to first pass it from water and wash it kind of. And then from that water, they can pass it in the second water that is smart. And then after they put it in another saucepan, when it has no water, and they fill in water accordingly. They have like to put water, not too much, exceeding the level where the cassava is reaching, but they can put like water can be like at the same level where the cassava is reaching. And they have to cover the saucepan, put it on the charcoal stove. They just kind of boil it, and it gets well when it's like that. They don't mix in anything. And then after, when that type of meal is prepared, they serve it in a way that they put it on a plate, on large plates, and then it can be eaten that way only. You can either prepare some kind of sauce alongside to eat with the cassava, or you can eat it alone and maybe something take after to drink. Yes. Yeah, that's how the first step is prepared. And this interview of mine, the one I was interviewing, actually is called Mshambo Kazi. Yeah, if you just check into my reports, I had a detail of names of people. So this young lady was telling me that the second way of preparing this meal is by mixing it now with red beans. Yeah, you know, when you mix it with red beans and you cook it, it just comes out when this cassava has changed color. Cassava takes color of the red beans. Yeah, so you can also eat them that way. You can put in only salt. Some people prefer to also add in some oil, but others do not. Culturally, Rwandans have been taking it without passing it, without flying it. So there was like kind of a simple reflection on it, the muhogo meal. And it has kind of some rituals associated with it, because Mshamkazi was telling me that when you are from getting your muhogo, whether you are uprooting it from your garden, or you are from getting it from the market, you have to carry it in a way that you make sure it does not fall down. Yeah, that when it falls down, your muhogo, when it falls down, it tastes bitter differently. So it's kind of not sweet. So that was the kind of ritual they told me. So you make sure you don't put it down, like you throw it down. It's very dangerous with them. Actually, that was kind of the meal called muhogo. I don't know whether you guys got interested in, or you even know something about it. So that's all with it. Like anyone with any question would like to know. Nothing like.
So I was wondering, they only cook mogo with red beans, or we can mix it with other kinds of food like vegetables?
Yes, like in cultural way, because I was just carrying out this research as an anthropologist, but looking it in cultural ways. So mainly these people are telling me more of it in preparing it in a cultural way, like this system of getting muhogo mixed, this cassava mixed with other kind of food meals, it just was brought later. It is kind of a new method, but in a culture, that's how they could prepare this meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I think if there is no any other question, I can pass the floor to Bertin to talk more about the field.
Yes. Thank you very much, Simeon. That was a really interesting expose about muhogo.
Yes.
Muhogo. So I'm going to talk about another. Me, it's not a food. It's more like an event, but which also features food, different food as in its central core. So this event is called Umuganura. Yeah, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Umuganura, guys. But Umuganura is like an event in Rwanda. It's nationwide. I'm sure that you've heard of it.
Yeah,
somehow.
sure.
It's a nationwide event which can be compared to the Americans Thanksgiving. It's called officially the National Harvest Day. So it's a day when the Rwandans they unite together and they come together in their villages. But also there is a place which is selected each year to hold the nation to have the events on a nationwide scale. But also otherwise it is celebrated in the villages. So they come together and then they share the harvest from the previous season. So because it is held in the beginning, the first Friday of August. To me, it's mostly at the end of the harvest season where in order to celebrate the harvest. So this Umuganura, in the Umuganura event, people Rwandans it's a moment, it's an occasion to celebrate and to exhibit the Rwandan culture. So this means that in Umuganura, everybody wears traditional clothes, and they have the traditional weaponry like the spear, the bow. So also there are these traditional dancers in Hore, and then most importantly there is traditional food. So the traditional food in Umuganura is mostly made of all the cassava bread, which is called bukacharara, the sorghum bread. Yeah, bukacharara. And then there is the beer, the Rwandan beer, urwarwa, the Rwandan traditional beer, sorghum beer. And there are potatoes, sweet potatoes mostly. There are beans, there are beans, and then there are also sometimes there are cassava. There is such different traditional food. And then in Umuganura, people do, because it's a moment for the Rwandan traditional cuisine. When most like the youth, they don't even know some people in the youth are children maybe at their home, in developed homes. You know that in Rwanda many people they consume Western type of cuisine. So at Umuganura, it's when many young people like us get a chance to know like how Rwanda looked like in the past. What did they consume? How like their rituals, because in Umuganura there are many rituals like poems, Rwandan traditional poems, like different, like in Mivugo there are ritual poems, and then there are also Ibyivugo. Ibyivugo, there are these traditional songs, Rwandan songs, different. So Umuganura as it is now, it has also a special meaning for Rwanda of reminding them of the prosperity of the country. Because if you are celebrating a harvest, it means that in the future, it means that you are like intending to increase the harvest in the future, because in Umuganura it's where they also make plans for the country in the next season. So I'm saying this because I gathered all the data from people in the field, from the people, the very people who agreed to talk with me. I made interviews with them, who gave me very valuable information. Yeah, for example, there is this guy. He's called Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre, he's a citizen from Zindiro. So he was telling me that Umuganura is like a moment to celebrate the yield from the agricultural season, no matter the yield. If there was a hard season or a very prosperous season, it doesn't matter. Just have to rejoice for what you have, and then make plans. How can we make it better? So he also told me that Umuganura is like, it's also an occasion to reinforce the values of the Rwandan culture. The values, the values of the Rwandan culture. They say dignity, they say self-reliance, they say many things, truthfulness. So all those values, it's an occasion to reinforce them. And then it's also to reaffirm the unity between Rwandans, among Rwandans, because in Umuganura, they all come together, they enjoy together. So to mean that they are united. Yeah, so Umuganura, when a person is from Umuganura, they really have that sense of like Rwandans are really united. Yeah, so there is also another person called Charles. He was, he mostly shared the views with Jean-Pierre, but he also added something which is really good of preserving. So it's only remembering the past, the Rwandan culture past, but also preserving what remains. Okay. So yeah, what remains, because that like traditional dancers, they are still there to preserve that those kind of values which unite Rwanda. So thank you very much, guys. If you have any question, you can fire.
Yeah. Okay, my question is just more easy, but wanting to know more about this Muganura. So you just say that it is more of an event. So yes, I was just wondering, how does it come? Because you talked of the culture dancers, the Inhore. So is it time when people come and show off, they show what they have harvested, sorry, and they even take time to eat? So like, how do they connect the event in that way?
The events in Muganura?
Yes.
Yeah, how are they connected?
Yes.
Yes. They are really organized. Muganura is organized because they mostly start with dancing, entertainment, Rwandan style, and then they move on with now speeches, and then afterwards the real ceremony now which is food.
Right.
Yeah, there is also another important food I have to mention, which is milk. Milk really is a central food in that. So if you can take milk, you take milk. If you can take beer, you take beer. So they share. They have these kind of pots where there is beer and milk. So like they have you can they share together from the same pot to show unity.
Yes.
And afterwards, then more entertainment, more speeches, and then just real fun, enjoying together, talking.
I see.
Thank you, guys. So if there is no other question, I'm passing the floor to Miss Colombe to take us through her own findings.
Thank you so much, Bertin. And my big blog, I worked mainly on what you call Urwagwa, which is like local beer. So I went in the village to visit my aunt there, and I asked her on how the Urwagwa, the Rwandan local beer, is prepared, and it's what I'm going to share with you.
Yes.
Okay. Mainly, Urwagwa is made from green bananas. They get those green. It's not any green banana you see. Yeah, they get those green bananas and they like put it somewhere for them to kind of ripe. Not they can't become yellow, of course. So they put those green bananas in a place for them to somehow ripe.
Yeah.
After then, they get those green bananas and they put them in what in Rwanda we call umuvu. It's like a small tank made of wood, and they open those green bananas, they put them in the muvure, and they use some grass called inshinge. It's like dry grasses, in order to come with juice. In order to get juice from those green bananas, of course they put there some water and they mix it with those dry grasses. After they come out with juice, banana juice, they before making urwagwa, they get that banana juice, and they keep it in maybe in jerry cans somewhere. But before keeping it, they take sorghum flour,
Yes.
and they pour on that banana juice, and after then they keep it for like 2 days. After 2 days, the okagwa is ready to consume. After interviewing that, her name was called Mujawiyera Mediatrice. She told me that they like consuming urwaga mainly in Rwanda ceremonies, such as during burials, during Maganya, as Bertin was saying, during ceremonies, weddings, and any other ceremony. They have to consume urwaga. Urwaga is the way, when they are consuming urwaga, is the way of bringing family together, enjoying their harvest, their sorghum, and children drink it, elders drink it, and they enjoy and celebrate and they dance. Yes, thank you. So if you have any other questions about urwaga, you're free to ask.
Yeah, so you said Urara is the traditional beer in Rwanda.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? I mean, it means that it has been there all the time in Rwanda.
Yeah.
It means like every Rwandan consumes Urara, or like when you see, yeah, that's part A, and part B is like the way you see the Urara right now. The way when you were carrying out your research, did you find any trend? I mean, is it getting more popular? Is it getting less popular? Yeah. How is the situation?
Yeah, thank you, Bertin, for your question. Urwaga is, as for now, it's becoming less popular because of the civilization and colonization. But then, for example, in dowry, when there are, dowry ceremonies, Urwaga it's a must to be there because of the rituals attached to it. Yeah. And what else?
Yeah, traditional. So it's the traditional. I mean, it has been there before even the pre-colonial period.
Yes, it has been there. That's all we have. From my family, the one from there.
Alright, just me, a simple question is, you say that everyone can take that type of beer, and of course when I understand it's a beer, I understand that it might have some negative sides. So I'm wondering if even little kids can take this type of beer and it's okay, or if doesn't it have any kind of harmful things associated with it? So can you take it at any time, at any place? I mean, how is it?
Of course, when you consume a lot, you can get drunk. But for the children, they like giving them the other banana juice before they make it urwaga. Yeah, that's why the children consume. And after, when they are like filtering the banana juice from the sorghum that have been poured, the children like to eat the remainings of the sorghum that had been removed from the banana trees.
Yeah.
That's why the children can.
Yeah, sure.
So thank you for listening. I think I could give the floor back to my colleague Simeon.
Anyway, thank you guys. Like, it has been such a great moment to share with you all the sharings and the findings that you guys really had. But before we end this session, I would like really to just have a kind of reflection on what we've been discussing about. From your findings, mine and hers, really it has been a great moment that we carried out different researches. So I would like us to really take some time to now just bring in similarities that you guys found in your findings, or the similar things that you find in your findings. So I don't know, you guys. Like, if I may start, you remember I told you about the Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine. I talked about the Telengiti. You know, the research I carried out in my field work was all about the Rwandan meal called cassava wumhogo. And you guys, for many other things you carried out. So just kind of like, if I might say, to me, what I found in is, if you try to look at everyone to come up to some of great moments of, I mean, I just want to connect things in terms of culture. You know, when you look at this type of meals prepared, these ceremonies and whatever, they all bring us to one thing: culture. Yeah, if it's in the Pacific Northwest with whatever they are taking, this fish and seal, whatever, if you come to the Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, what they are preparing as the gambis, they all kind of talk of culture, this food related to this. You know, as a culture, we have this, we take this. So, and when it comes to Rwanda, it's the same situation with the Umuhogo style. So, as a kind of similarity, I really found that when I was carrying out this research, I think that these things are coming much more to the culture, showing me that any society cannot live without something to really symbolize them, a kind of unique thing to really show that these people, whether it is to bring them together, whether it is to just make them communicate, whether it is, you know, all the things. So this is me, one of the things I found that can connect these things is all about culture. So I don't know what you guys really found as a similarity in your researches.
Yeah. One thing I remarked in all the findings that have been carried out is that there is the food in different cultures. The different cultures have food they treasure, they cherish more than others because of either symbolic meaning or the historic significance of that. So that is remarkable, mainly like for the Hindus. For the Hindus, we've been seeing how they have rice, which they consider as a symbol of sustenance and prosperity. And then for the Japanese, then the Japanese rice is also a symbol, like it's one of the greatest elements of the culture because it is like it has been there all the time. It has made them able to survive. So it's like a symbol of survival, sustenance, survival. You see, and then we have in Rwanda she's been talking about Radwa, which is the traditional beer. It has been there like for so long. To me, all the cultures, what I've been seeing is that they tend to value something, mostly food which has been there for so long, and which has become like a core element in their culture. They tend to value it and give it an important place. Yes. Something else I've noticed is that many cultures really different. They like to have the unity between them. I mean, the human race, I've seen that really different events we've been talking about, like Hindu weddings for me, and tailgating, and the Umuganura for my findings. I remarked that when I was doing the research, they are all events where people come together to celebrate. And I really felt like whether you are in Africa, whether you are in America, whether you are in Asia, whether you are in Europe, the human race, they like to celebrate and to have fun and to unite together with others. Yeah, thank you very much. That's all.
Yes, thank you. Also, for me, what I observed is that all these kind of foods and we've been researching about, they all have some rituals behind them. For example, if we talk about for example, me on Urugwagwa, it's like brings family together. And when we talk about the Hawaii poi, the rituals behind is that when they are consuming it, there has not to be any kind of anger or bad mouthing. So this showed me that everywhere you go, in every country, in every place, they have something they value most, either maybe it could be kind of food or a ceremony, and when they value that thing, they have some rituals behind them that make them to value that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's actually from this encapsulation, because remember, we've been really entering into some other cultures, but I would like also to just come on the just talk more about ethnocentrism, just now look at kind of study these cultures against our cultures, or kind of differences that we really got in these findings on the meals. Yes, the differences.
Yeah, I think there are many differences as far as anthropological research is concerned. Um, first of all, people don't value the same things, really. Like in Rwanda, if you talk about rice, I know many people they consume it.
Yes.
Rice is so important for Hindus, even for Japanese. But in Rwanda, it's not so much, rice, because it was that what I was going to say, enculturation. So rice was imported. It is not embodied in the traditional
Sure.
cuisine. So because it was imported as a result of enculturation, I think it is not. We consume it, but we do not value it. I'm sure of that. So that's one thing. Because also if you go in Japan, they don't even know about the Rwandan traditional beer. Yeah, maybe they also like beer, but they don't know about it.
Yeah.
And another thing I've seen is that mostly for the tailgating, is they don't indulge in such things as symbols. They just, like the tailgate Americans, the tailgating is just to have fun. When you look at it, it's more like a mixture of different. So foods are selected because of qualitative criteria, like taste good, or it is easy to prepare, not because of some symbol. So that's one thing. That's how I saw the tailgating was a little bit different from others. Yeah, thank you. That's what I've been able to see so far. Yeah, if anybody's saying they have a different.
Yeah, sure. Like from here, what you've been just talking about, the differences are very remarkable. Even coming, I would like to just now connect my research and your research to guys. Really, just coming from my Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, you see, I might say that it's more of, even you can find in Rwanda we have a traditional kind of cuisine, or even the way we nowadays cook. But mainly, I would say that developing this into culture, it is because groups of people, wherever they are, they have a different manner to handle things. Like he's been just talking of the Hindu wedding. Hindu wedding, what they are doing to rice is not eating it during that time. They have now another type of symbol they want to show. But come to your Japanese rice. It's time not to eat it. So you cook it, they show you how to fry it. So really they're showing that culture is mattering, but in difference that rituals also come in and brings in a difference. It really brings in a great difference. Like now when we come to our food logs, they really show that there is a difference in understandings of things that makes them be valued or not valued from what he has really been talking about. Yes, that's to me the difference that can come in is all about rituals. Yes.
Yeah, but when I was looking at these cultures, like when you try to look upon them like with cultural relativity, you can understand all the reasons behind.
Yes.
Every event we've talked about here, every food, they have a reason.
Yeah.
They have a reason.
That's
I mean, I'm coming back to the similarities, but it's something I have to say. Yeah, the Japanese, because rice is so important. The Pennsylvania Dutch
Sure.
we have seen.
Mhm.
The every type of food, you know. So this is, I think this is really important because when you are looking at that, you cannot say because rice is not important in Rwanda. How do they value rice anyway? Right? So you have to understand the motives behind that. Yeah.
Thank
So-
you. Is there anything else?
No.
Yeah.
So I think if it's nothing else, I
Mhm.
can really, you guys say thank you for really participating. I think it's been high time, and I really want to thank you for the commitment. You guys have been great, helping, working out on this research, coming into meetings, you know, how it has been a long journey, but I would like to thank you really.
Yeah,
Thank you, and it's been
Yeah.
really great time to see you. Hope you guys will
Yeah.
just teach me more on
Yeah,
the
thank
food.
you, Simeon.
Yes.
I hope I will work with you guys on other projects.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope to work with you because we are really like the best,
Oh,
the
yeah.
best teammates ever.
Of
Mm.
course.
So thank you very much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, master.